takeaways from the NFL's offseason. This from USA Today. They go with hope for the downtrodden. Browns, far more will be expected in Watson's second season, recently acquired. Za'Darius Smith, Elijah Moore will need to pay dividends. But if Watson can settle in for what should be his first full season in 3 years, while Myles Garrett and Nick Chubb live up to expectations, Factory of Sadness could finally go into shutdown mode. The other thing about Deshaun Watson that gets overlooked, he was in a new system. So he hadn't played in almost 3 years in a new system with a new group of talent around him. And he didn't have the ability to work with them for 11 weeks. There's a lot that that had to be overcome.
And keep in mind, it was a new city. And it wasn't like, it wasn't like he just came back to Houston after this 20-month hiatus and everything was brand new. Like if he was in Houston this season, new coaches, he was on the move. Basically, his entire career was hanging in the balance by something that was, off-field related. Where was, and I know we talked about this, is where was his confidence going to be at? Like hearing your name and realizing that even though you might be home, there's people that hate you. And, that's a really difficult thing to go through. And look, yes, did he bring it upon himself? Yeah. In most cases, in this circumstances, he most certainly did. But that's a real difficult way to go through things. Now, I think it's a little bit different here. Maybe feels a little bit like he paid his penance, so to speak. And now he's here. He's part of everything OTA-wise. He's going to be part of everything training camp-wise. New toys brought in that he's going to get the entire, preseason, obviously, and training camp to work with here with like Elijah Moore. Just doubling down on making sure this investment hits. You added in another tight end who he had familiarity with. Your little offensive line, you basically brought it back intact because the last thing you wanted to do was disrupt the apple cart. The belief should be, and we're talking about a guy whose career completion percentage is 67%. His career statistical numbers would break both the Browns' touchdown record and the Browns' total, passing yards for one season. That's basically what his average is in this league. So, look, if you want to temper your expectations because you've been down this road before and maybe you've been bit by the bullet too many times, I get it, but you're not looking at it with true open eyes. This is a really, really good roster with coaching upgrades. And Coach Stefanski, who dealt with really, really bad luck in 2021, and 2022 was basically the entire season was held in the balance of how long Deshaun Watson was going to be out for. And when it was 6 games, I think everybody thought, all right, we're going to be all right. We got a shot. Once it went to 11, it was unrealistic to believe that this team would be able to find a way to contend in the AFC.
Yeah, and the best thing about this offseason, it's been quote-unquote normal for the Browns and Kevin Stefanski.